We're based in South Australia on the Yorke Peninsula, so a real country farming area. And yeah, we've got members sort of the west coast of SA, people in Victoria that have holiday homes over here. So members are widespread. And I'm the Treasurer Secretary. And so, of course, I immediately went to looking for a system that would help us, because I was sort of handed over these books and things for the Secretary and the Treasurer role. And I was like, I'd love to have this on a computer and I can just search for it and whatever. So that's why we went initially looking. And there was a few other options, but what really sold me on Member Jungle was after speaking to Sammy. She just outlined everything she was saying was what I wanted to be able to do in a program. And another thing was we had a couple of members that are a part of more specific bike or car clubs. So their car clubs are already using Member Jungle and they said it's great, they get updates. So they were all over it. And so they were able to show me on their mobile app. And I was like, well, that really sold it for me, was being able to see it. Like you can read so much on the Member Jungle website. Like there was no question not answered by Sammy or the website. But being able to see, like especially an older gentleman, he would have been 60s, I think, show me on his phone, his bike regos, his garage on there, and, updates, events. He had a calendar. So there was no excuse that someone didn't know if an event was on, because you sort of get pinged and emails. At the moment, our main source of getting information out there is emails, but you're not on there 24/7 like you can be a mobile phone. So if there was last minute changes, some people would miss them. Like I said, we're an elderly group, so not everyone has emails. So it's really only phones or even landlines. So Member Jungle, to be able to use those push notifications and ping it straight to someone's phone like a message, is just brilliant, without the charge of an SMS as well. Like I use it all the time. So we have an annual rally that we hold earlier in the year. And so that event through Member Jungle was so helpful to me, because I had it all at my fingertips. So we put accommodation on and we have food. So basically you just set up the event as you would like it. And if someone wanted, 2 nights accommodation and they wanted all the meals, Member Jungle just tallied it all up. And people were able to pay by bank deposit, which is the main way that we run, or they were able to bring the correct cash to a meeting. And like I said, we've got members over in Victoria. We have a lot of people from Adelaide, which is sort of 2.5, 3 hours away from us, come to attend that rally, because it's sort of on a peninsula. We have nice beaches. It's in summer, so lots of people come over for it. And just to have that be able to tally up, whereas the old way, someone would have to give us a phone call. We'd have to write it all down, what they wanted. Whereas Member Jungle, you could select the accommodation people. You could just send them an email saying, hey, the accommodation's changed. Like you could just pick apart whatever you needed. And I really wanted Member Jungle in place before we had that rally, because I just don't think myself, being of the generation that I am, could have coped doing it with paper and pencil and adding up. Like I would have got something wrong. And the other thing was issuing refunds. So we had some people that had to pull out. So you basically just pulled up their total and you just did a bank refund to them. Like it was just so simple. It was a real winner for me. And probably my favourite part of it was analysing it afterwards. Like you could really break it down. It was great. From the club's perspective, I suppose the treasurer and the secretary role, after the event, we were able to filter down the searches, and we could say, okay, Saturday night, was that successful for us? We had X amount for dinner. And then I could go back to my other books and say, well, dinner cost us, this much, but we made this much back. So let's keep Saturday night as it is, because it's obviously a good fundraiser for the club. And then there was other things like we might need to upgrade the accommodation costs. because we were losing on it. So I don't think that the rally for us as an event has been pulled apart and analysed like it was before. So this year, we said we need more volunteers for this. If we could do this ourselves, we'd save money here. Like, it really was the whole shebang. And anything anyone wanted, like if there was any questions from the committee, or, what did Tuesday night cost us, I could just say, here, this is what it is. Straight away, whatever they wanted to know, like I could pull up. I just have to have a massive shout out to Sammy, because she really, and I don't want to say it like she sold it, but she just answered everything really genuinely, and sort of coming not from a tech background, but I'm sort of like, I know what computers can do and software and things like that. She sort of said, like if I wanted anything in the future, like she would put it to your tech guys, you can only ask, and they're happy to give things a crack. Like if there was something specific to our club that we wanted Member Jungle to be able to do, she's like, just ask us, because we're still like a family business. We're here in Australia, not overseas. We can give it a go, which I really liked. And she's great to talk to on the phone. All of the process has been really easy, like the calculator on the website. So before I even sort of settled on Member Jungle, I could get a bit of a quote or an idea of the level that we would need. And I could literally take that to a meeting and put it to the committee and say, look, Member Jungle is this, the other brand is this. We get the website with Member Jungle, this guys we don't. This is, support in Australia. Like it had all the pros and cons, and that was the transparency probably sold me a lot. Like you guys weren't hiding anything on the website. I should say our president is a little bit computer illiterate, so that's my dad, and he. We sort of have these meetings, and everyone's rocked up to the meeting because they've got the notification. They know that it's on. I sort of try and put like a reminder out a week before. And so there's been a couple of times it's been quite funny in meetings that sort of something has happened in the background, and just say we've got an event on the weekend and someone sends us a map and says, the classic cars enter through this street, no other access type thing. And I'll just use that push notification and just send it out. It just pops up the little map on their phone. So, Saturday morning when they're coming into town and their wife's in the passenger seat, we've got to go to that road to be able to get in to park. And then, my dad would be like, yeah, if you could send that to everyone, that'd be great. And everyone's like, we've already got it. So they're all over it. There's some young people that we don't really have, they're not very involved with the club, but they have the app on their phone purely for meetings, because everyone's busy, like they're easy to forget. And then there's a few, really retirees type, 60, 70-year-olds, and they have it on their smartphone and they love it. They absolutely love it. They said, I got the map, or I got the uniform order, like I'll have a, XL, hoodie or something, like they love it. And because it comes in like a message, it's not hard for them to understand, and they know what it is now.